Temujin was born into a world where survival was never guaranteed. The Mongolian steppe was vast, empty, and unforgiving. Life here demanded strength, awareness, and loyalty. Those without protection did not survive long. Temujin's father, Yesuge, was a tribal chief of modest influence. He was respected, but he ruled no great confederation. When Temujin was still a child, Yesuge was poisoned by enemies from the Tatar tribe. His death shattered the fragile security of Temujin's family. According to steppe custom, when a leader died, his followers were free to leave, and they did. Temujin's tribe abandoned his family without mercy. His mother, Hoelun, once respected, was suddenly powerless. Temujin, his brothers, and sisters were left alone in the wilderness. Hunger followed. Cold followed. Fear followed. They ate roots, wild berries, rodents, and fish pulled from frozen rivers. Every day was a battle against death. Temujin learned early that the world did not reward noble birth. It rewarded strength and resolve. Conflict soon arose within the family itself. Temujin's half-brother Bektar hoarded food and asserted dominance. In a desperate struggle for survival, Temujin killed him. It was a brutal act, but it marked the first moment Temujin chose authority over weakness. This act haunted him, but it also forged him. Not long after, Temujin was captured by a rival clan and enslaved. He was forced to wear a wooden collar, a symbol of humiliation. Yet even in chains, Temujin observed people closely. He learned how fear controlled men and how kindness could break that control. A guard eventually helped him escape. Temujin never forgot that loyalty could be earned, even from unexpected places. This belief would become the foundation of everything he built. As a young man, Temujin began gathering followers. He had no wealth, no noble title. What he offered instead was fairness, shared reward, protection. In a world ruled by aristocrats, this was revolutionary. His first loyal companion was Borchu. Borchu helped Temujin recover stolen horses without asking for payment. Instead of gold, Temujin offered brotherhood. That bond would last a lifetime. Soon after came Gelme, who saved Temujin's life by sucking poisoned blood from his wound. Gelme's loyalty was not based on fear, but devotion. Trouble followed Temujin everywhere. His childhood friend Jamuka became his rival. Jamuka believed leadership belonged to noble bloodlines. Temujin believed leadership belonged to those who earned it. This ideological divide split the steppe. When conflict erupted near the Onan River, Temujin was defeated. His followers scattered. His dream seemed broken. But this defeat became his greatest teacher. Temujin learned that raw numbers meant nothing without loyalty, that cruelty created obedience, but fairness created devotion. He began rebuilding, slowly, deliberately, and intelligently. This was the end of Temujin the survivor, and the beginning of Temujin the leader. The rise of the 11 loyal generals and the war against chaos. As Temujin rebuilt his strength, he began forming something unprecedented, a leadership circle based not on family, but trust. These men would become known as his most loyal generals. Borchu remained by his side, managing logistics and protection. He never betrayed Temujin, even when defeat seemed inevitable. Gelme continued to serve as Temujin's protector, risking his life repeatedly. Borokul was adopted into Temujin's family after his own clan was destroyed. His loyalty came from gratitude and belonging. Chilaun, son of a man who once saved Temujin, became a fierce warrior and enforcer of discipline. Sorkanishira, once an enemy noble, sheltered Temujin during his escape from slavery. Instead of killing him later, Temujin rewarded him with trust. Then came Jebe, once an enemy archer who shot Temujin's horse in battle. When asked who fired the arrow, Jebe admitted it openly. Instead of executing him, Temujin admired his honesty and skill. Jebe became one of his greatest generals. Mukhali rose as an administrator and commander, trusted to rule conquered lands while Temujin campaigned elsewhere. Subutai, a blacksmith's son, became the greatest military strategist of the Mongol Empire. He mastered coordination, deception, and long-distance warfare. Other commanders joined, each tested through hardship, battle, and moral trials. Loyalty was not automatic. Temujin constantly tested his men. He rewarded success generously and punished betrayal mercilessly. Internal conflicts erupted. Tribes resisted being mixed together. Old blood feuds resurfaced. Some men deserted. Temujin responded with a radical reform. He broke tribal units apart and reorganized warriors into groups of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. Loyalty was no longer to tribe. It was to the unit and the leader. Promotion was based on merit alone. This destroyed aristocratic privilege and empowered common men. Jamuka ruled through terror. Temujin ruled through trust. Slowly, tribes defected. Warriors joined willingly. The balance of power shifted. When Temujin finally defeated Jamuka, he executed him. Not cruelly, but swiftly. Jamuka represented the old world. Temujin represented the future. In 1206, Temujin was declared Genghis Khan, ruler of all Mongols. But unity was fragile. Managing an empire was harder than conquering it. That is where his generals became essential. Mastering loyalty, conquering fear, and building an empire. Once unified, Genghis Khan turned outward. His generals led campaigns across Asia with terrifying efficiency. Subutai coordinated battles across thousands of miles, often without direct supervision. Jebe struck deep into enemy territory, disrupting supply lines and spreading fear. Mughali governed northern China, proving that Mongols could rule as well as conquer. Internal troubles still threatened the empire. Cultural differences, rebellions, ambition among commanders. Genghis Khan controlled this through law. The Yasa, a strict legal code, applied to everyone equally. Even generals were punished if they disobeyed. Loyalty was rewarded with wealth, authority, and honor. Betrayal was punished without exception. Religion was tolerated. Talent was valued. Trade was protected. Fear spread faster than armies. Cities surrendered without battle. Yet those who submitted were often spared and integrated. This balance of mercy and brutality kept the empire stable. By the end of his life, Genghis Khan ruled the largest contiguous empire in history. But his greatest achievement was not land. It was loyalty. He transformed abandoned outcasts into generals, enemies into brothers, chaos into order. From a starving child to the ruler of half the world, Genghis Khan proved that power built on loyalty is stronger than power built on fear. And that is why his story still commands the world's attention.